Okay, great. So we're recording now. If you guys have not yet done so, just drop in the chat where you're calling in from. And we're so excited to have Scott Andersen as a guest today. He is our new regional sales director for the Southeast. So he will be covering the majority of us in our regions. And before we turn it over to Scott, I just want to give you guys a couple announcements. First of all, we are in the beginning of Grow Week, which, by the way, Scott, I think is awesome. I think they should do this every few months, maybe. It's been really good so far. I've loved it. And if you guys in the chat, if anybody's been on any of the calls so far, let's have Scott hear how much we love it. But the Grow Week schedule was awesome. I thought that was super helpful. Make sure you guys print that out. Every day, remember, noon, and then the replay at 8 p.m. So hop on one of those calls. It's very tangible things that we could do within that time frame, and lots of uplifting encouragement, like today with Emily was awesome. And then this Thursday, 8:30 p.m., we are going to have an opportunity Zoom, Love Your Body, Launch Your Business. Same one we did a few weeks ago. Brooke and I will be hosting that again together. So this is a good time to reach out because you have a call to plug people into that's going to talk about both product and business. So think about that as you're making your connections, that we have that opportunity call to plug people into. And then there's a super Saturday this Saturday, November 14th as well. So our power hour is going to be moved up an hour earlier to 11 a.m. Eastern time. And then we'll have the 12 o'clock, we'll start our super Saturday virtual. And we do have a promo coming up. I don't know, maybe Scott can give us a little bit of hints about it because I have no idea what the promo is, but it is going to be an early promo, November 13th through 16th. So maybe Scott will give us some special treatment, give us some hints about that. And then before I turn it over to you, Scott, I just wanted to tell you guys, just so you guys know kind of where I'm coming from. Some of you knew that I was asked to write a chapter in a book about network marketing. So I have the first one here, which is really cool because Hillary Courtney, one of my mentors that I love, is in here. But I am going to be in one of their books. And so I am working with the editor this week, and there's a lot going on with that. And also, I think you guys saw I joined the John Maxwell team for coaching and getting a couple certifications there. And I have a lot of work to do and time block for that. And the other big thing is I was asked to be a keynote speaker again for a New Year kickoff. And so I am writing my content and practicing my content and having to do rehearsals and things. And so I say that to you all, I'm very excited, but if you notice, I'm a little absent and I'm not as quick to be on my Isopulse and congratulate people or be as quick to answer. I'm trying really hard to time block so I can get everything in. And so I've been trying diligently not to have my phone at certain times because I get super distracted. But I wanted to share all that with you. It's exciting for our team. Anytime I have anything going on for me, I feel it represents you all. It represents the whole team. So it's something for all of us to celebrate. But I did want to share that exciting news with you, and also so you guys know if I'm not as in the forefront on top of things, you know that it's not that I'm taking an early holiday break. I just really am working on several things at once and trying to fit it all in. So thank you guys for that and for hearing me out. And I want to turn it over to Scott and just let Scott kind of introduce himself and just tell us a little bit more about what your role is at Isagenix, what you love about Isagenix, any kind of things you could like let us know about that we could be excited about with this upcoming new year coming or anything like that. We would love to hear from you. And thank you so much for taking the time tonight as well.
You bet. Thank you so much for having me on, Gina. I appreciate it a ton. Give me a thumbs up, everybody, if you can hear me. I like clicking through and seeing what people are doing. So I see Kara, I see Paula, let's see Susan. She's got a friend with her. Way fun. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me and us. It's super awesome. I've been here. I think I'm on like my 6th week with Isagenix, so I'm still kind of a brand new baby, but I'm super excited. Let me tell you a little bit about me. So I've been in the industry about 17 years, always on the corporate side, which I think is the easy side. You guys have the tough job, and I love doing what I can to be the best kind of steward and advocate for you. I've had the opportunity to work across different compensation plans. This is my third binary plan that I've been in. I've been in party plans, stair-step breakaway plans, and those are just fancy compensation plan names. And at the end of the day, compensation plan isn't necessarily the competitive advantage, but it's nice to see how to build certain ways. So that's kind of one of the things that I bring to the table is this worked over here and this worked for this company, da 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 da. And so that allows me to bring that experience here to Isogenics. And then the other thing is I'm talking with a series of other teams and other leaders. And so that's the other thing that's nice is I can hear what's working, what's not working, and then again, bring that back to Gina so Gina can synthesize it and decide how that can be incorporated into what you guys are doing. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about me. I mean, on the personal side, I've been married to my wonderful wife, Melissa, for 22 years. Yes, I am that old. We have two wonderful boys, 16 and 9. We live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I don't know how long that will be with Isogenics. Maybe I'll find my way to Arizona. I actually prefer, I'm getting older. I don't like cold climate. It's winter now in Utah. There's snow on the ground and I'm quite frankly, I'm miserable. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go south. When I was looking for my kind of next phase of life, I'd been with the previous company for about 5 years. I knew my time was come because I wanted to learn, on the corporate side, for those that work corporate, you have these seasons of growth and I knew that my next season of growth wasn't going to be at the company I was at. And so I started looking, and in the corporate world, I break it down to the 3 Ps. It's pretty simple. And it's I'm looking for the product. What kind of product does the company offer? What's the plan? Because even though compensation plan isn't a competitive advantage, I still want to know that it's a good plan. And then the people. And the people is those that are in the field and those that are in the company. And, it was pretty evident early on that Isogenics fit the first 2 Ps, right? Great product that people love. What I love is people are already buying health products such as what Isogenics offers. Isogenics invests into a lot of research and development. So cool, check the box. Compensation plan's great. In fact, as I came in, you have a core compensation plan, right? That's awesome. And then you have all these bonuses that just kind of come in and come out and come in and come out, which is good. I know sometimes it's hard to keep track of what's out there, but the nice thing is those bonus allow the company to be strategic to what you need and what your teams need. And then the people has been awesome. The field, so welcoming, so knowledgeable. I love that everyone is invested in what they're doing. And then the same thing in the company. It's great people. They've been just awesome to kind of help me be onboarded and get used to everything I need to know with Isogenics. And so one thing I saw that I really, really loved with Isogenics is just their commitment to the field. And I've seen that from the top down, just with Jim and Kathy, and all the Isogenics leaders that I work with. Their commitment is to you, the field. I had an opportunity to take a peek at their roadmap. This is kind of a technical term of what their strategic plan is over the next 2 years. And everything that I saw on that roadmap was everything that helps either the leader do their business or to help the newest person do their business, right? Because the faster that we can sponsor people and enroll them, and the faster that they can get started, that makes a significant difference in your business, right? How many people you're enrolling and how quickly they can get going. And things like the Penny app, right? That helps the newest person get going. Things like the Grow Week. These are great things. And so what I loved, I can't tell you everything what's on that calendar, but it's only scratching the surface and all the good things that are coming. That leads to kind of my final piece for tonight, and it's what's on the horizon. Gina is right. There's some great things between now and the end of the year. You've got Black Friday that's coming around the corner, and I'm not going to be a jerk, but I actually have right in front of me what the initiatives are for Black Friday that's launching. And they're great initiatives, right? They're going to be for customers. There's going to be product focus. You're going to love it. And I think more things will probably come available in the next couple of days before the 13th. Then you're going to see things that hit first part of December. You're going to see things that hit middle to end December, leading up to the new year. And that's kind of the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about right now. So it's interesting. In our space, I started doing some stats. Let's just take New Year's resolutions. Now, for some people, they love them or they hate them. I love New Year's resolutions. Any opportunity that I can figure out how to get to my best self, I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. And maybe I'll have 4 New Year's resolutions. Maybe I'll have 3. If one of those sticks, I'm happy. Now, some trainers and fitness folks hate New Year's resolution because people get excited and maybe they don't stick with it. But I'm in the camp of, if one person is affected, then that's a job well done. But let me just break it down a little bit. 45% of New Year's resolutions have to do with weight or weight maintenance. 45% of those that do New Year's resolutions. So that's pretty dang compelling. What does that mean? That means people are going to be looking for solutions really, really soon. Towards the end of the year, beginning of the next year, people are going to be literally searching for solutions. And so all the people that may have said no, or all the teasing and posts that you may be doing now, they are not falling on deaf ears. Those are perfect opportunities. It takes now to seed those things so that when the new year comes, these people go, oh, wait a minute. So-and-so said this. Perfect. I'm going to jump on that. So this is my theme for the night. There is, just in meal replacements alone, it's like an $18 billion industry. $18 billion in just meal replacements. So not even talking our whole product suite. So what I'm telling you is there is an opportunity coming. And though there are awesome things, I do want you to stay focused on your business right now. And I want you to stay focused on these promotions that are coming. But in the back of your mind, I hope that you're making plans as to what you're doing at the beginning of the year, because you want to hit the ground running. With everything that's going on, with good things that are in the pipeline, you don't want to have to wait and develop a plan. You want to be midway through your plan on what that looks like, because in the health and wellness industry, the first 4 months of the year can literally make or break your year. And so I wanted to stress that. Then you've got the great training initiatives that are coming along, right? All the promotions going on right now. You've got rank advancement bonuses that are going on right now. You're going to see more bonuses before the end of the year is up, and things that are awesome. So I didn't want you to be on your heels, because those people that can get it going now are going to see a significant spike in their business, right? We want that wave of growth. You want to be on top of that wave. So when these new initiatives land, that your plan is already underway, not, oh, I better develop a plan and get it going. So Gina, that was my big message tonight. And I apologize. I know you were hoping that I would probably sneak some details in, or maybe make a, unfortunate gaffe and tell everyone something. But.
Yeah. So the promos that are coming are for there's gonna be some for new customers for us to entice with new enrollments, I assume. And then some for the customers, you're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to see both. You're going to see both. You're going to see people that for your retail customers, for your preferred customers, and for your new members.
They're being a little secretive about it.
I have to. I can't be.
I mean, the whole company, because we like to and we like to put some graphics together. So,
Yep.
that would just be my only feedback, is kind of let us know a little bit, because we could play.
And it's come up a lot about that. And so, I mean, the hard part is I guess in years past, and I've seen this in my previous life as well, is it will stall current enrollments and current sales, which is a tough thing to jeopardize. Mm-hmm. But as leaders, I can take that feedback, because as a leader, I could definitely.
I agree with that, but it's the same week. It's the same business week. So do you know what I mean? I think if it was 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but I think once it's in the same week, it's go time. Let us know. We start making some graphics, but Well, that's good that we all know, it's at least that we know that there's a new member incentive and some for existing customers. So we'll just have to get on that when we get it. Maybe we'll get the information by tomorrow. Does anybody have any questions specifically for Scott or anything that you want to ask him? Or you can write it in the chat and I can read it.
Yeah, and as you write that, like the capacity that I will be working in as someone that's responsible for the Southeast, and Gina knows this, is I'm available to you if they're, it's the gamut. I can jump on team calls like this. I've done one-on-ones with people before, even things like incentives to help them, push a team, or even recognition. I love doing recognition. I am on Facebook. You can find me on Scott. Here, I'll write my name because I have not really a unique last name, but it is spelled.
Spelling is unique, yeah.
Yeah. If you search that, you will find me. And I love to connect. And so really it's the gamut of whatever you might need. Sometimes you get stuck in a compliance issue. It's what I would say, my advice is run through the normal channels. And then if it gets caught, that's a perfect time. Because I'll be honest, customer service 9 times out of 10 will get it done faster than I am. But when it's stuck, that's kind of my best place to jump in and help you get unstuck.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we thank you for your time. And Paula has a question. She says, when ISABOS goes away, will the Penny app have any notifications for new enrollments, ISA body, etc.? Do you know anything about that?
Yes.
Okay.
I know a little bit about a lot of the Penny app. You're going to see great things. I think Penny app has proven itself and its place in our business. That may get skinned a new name and continued investment into just exactly that you're talking about, notifications, right? Because we want that information pushed to you when someone does something, or when someone is about to do something, or when someone should do something. So you'll see those things. That was a part of that roadmap that I saw. You'll see that continued investment over the next 6 to 9 months, most definitely.
Okay, that's great. And I know we have some new products coming out that are going to be awesome and exciting. So we are looking forward to that too.
Yep.
You guys can all stay on because I'm going to have one of the team members is going to share something with us. But Scott, I know that you're busy. You're kind of ending up your workday there. So thank you. I wanted everybody to meet you. They'll find you on Facebook. We have some really great rising leaders on this team, so I'm really glad for them to connect to you and know who you are. And thank you again for your time and sharing all of that with us. And welcome to Isagenics and welcome to the ISA family.
Yes, thank you so much. And it's great to meet everyone. I love to meet up and coming leaders. I love it because it's one of these times it was like, hey, we met on a Zoom, and then maybe the next time I'm walking you across stage for some amazing recognition. So let's all aim for that. And thank you so much for having me on, Gina.
Yeah, of course. I'll talk to you soon, Scott. Thanks again.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, guys. So before we wrap it up, and I just wanted you guys to meet Scott because he is going to be in charge of the Southeast. So basically, anybody in the Southeast region, that's our guy. I know Stephanie, your guy who you're with Mike. Are you with Mike Mallory? No, you're with oh, they don't have one for Texas yet. They didn't replace. Oh, okay. So that's coming soon. And so Arizona. So Nicole would be with Mike Mallory. So basically, the different regions have different corporate reps that will represent us. So they're, like he said, if you're stuck in something, if there's a question you need, you guys can still filter it through me. I could text Scott anytime. But if anybody's really getting into that rising leadership role where they want to have more involvement with the company, it's good to be involved with corporate. So what I want to do is I want to ask, so Eileen, you guys know she's been doing amazing. She recently hit director. Before she even hit manager, she told me this story, and I think I might be the only one she told. And it was a really inspiring thing that had happened just as she was starting with Isagenics. And she said, when the time feels right, I'll share with the team. And so, she and I were talking, and she said, the time feels right. She hit manager, then she hit director. And what I love is that there's so many times that she had wall kicking moments, and could have given up, could have gotten very frustrated. And what I love is that she's really building consultants that are truly invested, that they really want to do this. So she really wanted to build a sustainable team to continue on and then be able to hit executive. And she's been really focused and pushing on that. So I love her story that she shared with me. And I thought it'd be something really great for everybody in the team to hear. So before we close out tonight, Eileen, you can unmute yourself and then just kind of tell the story that you told me.
Okay. Hi guys, how's everybody doing? Good? All right, so I had told Gina this story. We all have heard over and over and over again, just keep plugging away, keep plugging away, keep plugging away. Eventually things will start to grab. And sometimes it almost felt like, well, maybe not for me. I can even still hear Debbie's voice in my head when she said the only way to fail is to quit. Well, that is so true. So back in February, God, it wasn't even a year ago. Well, was it? Yeah, it wasn't even a year ago. Isogenics has University in Action. And I was already around for an NYKO, a celebration. I really couldn't go. And then UIA came around, and I knew I had to get to an event. And it is true when they say, if you want to grow your business, you have to get to an event. So my feeling was, if I have to go to an event, what would be best for me? If I can only afford one. I felt UIA was great because it's all about self-development and how to really, like they say, unlock the power within you to put yourself out there to grow your business. So I wanted to go to UIA. My whole team was going to UIA. Now, at the time, my husband lost his job. He was unemployed. We were just trying to keep our heads above water. So financially, I couldn't afford to go. But I was very embarrassed to say that out loud. I didn't want people to think that I was poor or anything. I had no money to do this. And my husband and I had stated that we were not going to start charging things. We didn't want to get into debt. We had dug ourselves out of a hole. We wanted to keep ourselves out of the hole. So I was like, how can I pull this off without telling anybody I can't afford to go? Well, I called Isogenics because I had an expired event coupon in my back office. I called them up and I flat out said, my whole team is going to this event. I can't afford to go. I can afford to go because I have points for an airline ticket. I can split a hotel room. I can bring my own shakes for food. I mean, I was literally almost in tears. I'm like, it was very embarrassing to me. Woman put me on hold. She says, all right, call back in about 3 days. We're going to see what we can do for you. 24 hours later, I got a phone call. Not only did they give me my event ticket, they registered me. Isogenics took care of everything for me. It really took me back. So here I don't want to say I was only a consultant, but I wasn't an executive. I was only with the team for less than a year, and they financially helped me go to the event. That to me spoke volumes for the company. And that UIA, oh my gosh, that was life altering. Absolutely life altering. So if there was any event that I'm glad I made that push for, was UIA. And it was just always a personal story. And I had told Gene, I said, one day when I rank up, I'll tell it, because celebrations will be in July. Hopefully we'll all get to go and I will be able to afford to go, thanks to the help of being in Isogenics. So that's my story. I hope it's inspirational to just keep plugging away.
What I love about that is that she thought to call. She had an expired ticket and she took it upon herself to call the company. And like she said, she didn't ask me for help. She didn't ask anybody for help. She just said, you know what, I'll call and check, and really tried to make this happen. And I feel like the intention and the energy, when you have that behind a mission, things happen, things show up. But you have to do the work, right? She didn't just sit there and say, oh, I have an expired ticket, but let me sit back and like pray that something happens. Like she actually thought, let me call and ask. And you know what? The answer is always no if you don't ask, right?
Right. Yeah.
So the lady, divine, because sometimes we don't get the right people we call, we all know that, really connected with Eileen and felt for her. And she saw that their ticket was expired and she reinstated it and then did all the registration for her. So she didn't even have to stress about it. So I thought that was so awesome and did speak volumes of the company. So yeah, that's just great. And then Eileen, just like really quickly, like if you can just, I don't know if everybody knows this about Eileen, but you've had moments of great momentum that you
Mm-hmm.
felt things were going to happen, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I feel it's going to happen. And then it didn't. And I
Mm-hmm.
know how that feels. And I know it's like, feels like a slap in the face and it feels really frustrating. And you feel like, am I doing something wrong? Like, because you feel the momentum, you've got all the action going, and then there was nothing. And that happened a couple times.
Happened a lot. Like
Yeah.
not even, it
And then you
happened a
were big
lot.
momentums, like where you had the enrollments and then you thought they were going to share and then things backfired. And it was like so many times you could have just been like, forget it. So what
Mm-hmm.
made you keep going? Because I mean, I think that you were in those momentum periods several times before you actually then gained some traction and started making things happen. So what was it that kept you in it, that you didn't say, you know what, I'll just use the product. I love the product, but I can't keep taking this rejection and this frustration and these letdowns anymore? Because a lot of people, that's what a lot of people stop, because they keep feeling like they're working so hard and they get excited and they get this momentum and then nothing. And then it happens again and then nothing. And that's what really, rightfully so, discourages people. I mean, anybody would get discouraged with that, right? But it's almost like any kind of business you try to build, that's what it is. It's never just, yay, let's go straight to the top. It's always those
Right.
up, down, up, down, up, down. But when you're in it, it's kind of sucky, and you're like, what the heck? So what was it that prevented you from saying, you know what, I'm just going to do the products. I love the products, but I'm not going to put myself through this anymore.
Well, it all came down to the only way to fail is to quit. A lot of, being a lot of, I'm sorry, coming to these Tuesday night calls have been enormous. When I first started and I would hear, you would bring a guest speaker on and everybody had a story, where they started and how they got to where they were from. Once in a while, it was like, oh, like, okay, we get it. Like, I get it. But that whole plugging in and plugging in and plugging in and plugging in, it just starts to resonate. Like, wait a minute, I'm where they were. And now look where they are. I mean, you heard the story when we were in UIA. I could still hear David Wood's voice when he had, when he says, if you made $500 or less, stand up. And of course, the whole room stood up. If you made $1,000, stand up. A lot of the people stood up. And then, okay, if you made between, 3,000 and 5,000, stand up. And, it started to dwindle. And then he went all the way up to, if you made $97,000 a month, stand up. And one woman stood up. Her story. Now, I'm not saying, I mean, listen, I hope that I am that woman one day, but when you hear her story, how the debt, where she was, I think it was Escobar, where she talked about all the hundreds of $1,000s of debt and then woke up one day and a box was left on her doorstep of isogenics. Like, it was almost like God threw them a life preserver. And when you hear these stories, like, that's what I got out of a lot of them. Like, everyone seemed to get like a life preserver in isogenics. For me, like, my husband lost his job. We were surviving, but I didn't want to survive. I have dreams too. I have, you just booked your Colorado dream. My dream is Hawaii. One day it'll happen, but I have other priorities right now. No one's giving me that money. So I have nothing to lose by keep going. And basically that's just what I've been doing. Just keep going.
Love it. Thank you so much, Eileen, for sharing.